All right, so it is a beautiful morning here in Auckland. There you see the Sky Tower, I believe the name of it is. And up there, if I'm not mistaken, there's a restaurant and actually casinos, I think I was told the other day. So we are on our way to the harbor where we're going to catch a ferry and go over to Waiheke Island. And Waiheke Island is just off the shore from Auckland, and it has some nice beaches, hiking, and I think it's got some wine tasting, and should be a nice day. The weather today, you couldn't ask for nicer weather. Actually, the time that I've been here in Auckland, there's been a couple days where it was a little bit spotty. But other than that, the weather here has just been really beautiful, and it doesn't get too hot. If you're watching the weather down in, say, Australia or something like that, the temperatures there just get scorching. But here in Auckland, or New Zealand, I should say, it seems like the temperatures usually stay in the upper 60s to the upper 70s, in that range. I'm sure they probably get into the 80s sometime as well. There is some humidity here in Auckland, or in New Zealand rather, but nothing that I've seen that is like the humidity you might experience over on the east coast of America. But anyway, so we should be on the ferry here shortly, and underway on our way to Waiheke. All right, there is the ferry. I don't know if that's the ferry that we're going to be on, but we're over by the ferry building here. There's the Hilton Hotel, and we're going to go, and Ina's picking up our tickets. Or not our tickets. She's picking up the flat whites. And for those of you not familiar with the term flat white, that's the espresso drink or coffee drink, kind of like a cappuccino, but they call it a flat white here. But anyway, so we're gonna go get our tickets for the ferry ride, and Ina's gonna get the flat whites. So we'll tickets over there, I think, not sure, $30-40 a piece or something like that. We'll find out. All right, so the journey is underway. And this is my first time out on the water here in New Zealand, and it is really a sight to behold. We're pulling out of the, I believe it would be called the ferry building, here in downtown Auckland, and just over to the right you can see it looks like there is the port of Auckland, and I'll give you a nice shot of the skyline over here. So there is the beautiful skyline of downtown Auckland, and that building that you see right, I'll zoom in on it, that building you see right there is called the Metropolis, and that is a luxury residences, and that's where I'm hoping to be calling my home here in the next week or two. So we will see. That remains to be seen, but right now I'm not going to be thinking about a week or two out. I'm just going to be thinking about the beautiful day that I'm going to be spending on Waiheke Island here in beautiful New Zealand. And it's going to be great sharing this with you. I hope those of you back in the Northeast watching this with the 20-degree below zero temperatures, this video maybe serves to warm you up just a little bit. It's really a full crowd here on the ferry. You can see there's 2 or 3 decks on this ferry, and it is actually quite full. So we were fortunate to get a seat right up here on the top of the ferry, and if I understand correctly, it's about a 40-minute ride over. Okay, there is Waiheke Island, and as we're sailing over to Waiheke Island, I've brought along a little Bluetooth music player, and I've got an Italian band on, Eros Manziotti or something, playing. But anyway, that is the island there, and as I understand it, for those of you in the California area, Hiro was telling me that's kind of like the Berkeley of New Zealand, or Auckland, if you will. So we're gonna go spend a nice day doing some walking, and I brought my swimsuit. The girls wouldn't let me bring the little boogie board, you know, but you got to make compromises, I guess. I guess that's how it works. So, and then give you a nice little shot over here. There's another island. You know, you couldn't ask for a nicer day. And yes, Mom, I've got my sunblock on. Sunblock 50.
Say that he was going to give up his day for football.
All right, so this is absolutely fantastic. You know, it is a real dream. All right, so we're probably just a few minutes from Waiheke Island, and I thought I'd do a nice shot from the back of the ferry here. And I've got the flag of New Zealand here right behind my shoulder, and Auckland behind me, and Waiheke in front of me, and it's gorgeous. And Hero was just saying that I didn't mention that I wanted to stay home and watch the 49ers beat the Packers today, but you know, fortunate for me, she's recording it. So after a nice day on Waiheke Island, we're gonna go and maybe have some pizza or something else, and then we'll watch the 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers. But for right now, I'm just gonna enjoy a beautiful day here down under.
So we're pulling into Waiheke Island, and you know, one of the things that I just can't help but to notice is the beautiful contrast between the lush green of the island against the beautiful blue of the sky. Just a gorgeous day, absolutely gorgeous. And my hat has been confiscated. I should have brought two of these hats with me, but Ina seems to have taken over my hat, and I must say that it actually looks quite good on her. You know, so that's if that's any compensation. You know, that it looks as good on her as it does. I guess I can live with that for a little while. Look how beautiful it is here.
Would you rather be watching the 49ers?
Oh no, you're recording the game for me, right? And you canceled, you deleted some of your soap operas, you were saying?
Soap operas.
Huh? Now, what would you have deleted off of your DVR that was so precious for me to watch the 49ers today?
Oh, lots.
Lots?
I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We should get some cheese and crackers or something, or cheese and wine, you know, to watch the 49ers just stomp the Packers. All right, so Hero and Ina and I, we found ourselves out in the Visitor Information Center. We met this lovely man, Dave. Dave is he's a retired, well, he was telling me he used to be the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and now he's doing tours out here on Waiheke Island. So you would think that if anybody knows, you know, this island, you know, it'd be the former Prime Minister of the country. So, no, Dave, you're not the former Prime Minister, are you?
I'm not a professional liar, I'm an amateur liar.
Oh, you're an amateur liar.
Yeah, I haven't got to those peaks.
Oh, okay. So, no, you were a school teacher.
Yeah, I still do a bit of teaching.
Uh-huh.
I feel like an argument. I do a day substitute teaching.
And what grade teaching did you do?
High school. Sport.
High school.
Sport recreation.
Oh, okay.
And when I need to do a second subject, history, geography.
So your tour, this tour that you're giving us, it's about a 45-minute tour, and it costs us $15 a piece to do this tour.
Yep.
And just very briefly, where are you going to be taking us today?
We're going to go through about 8 localities on the island. First stop here. Give you a taste of the island. We've always had at least 100 artists live on the island, so it's always been a wonderful artistic community. And here you have one of the first pieces of artwork, and we call this slot.
Slot.
Yeah, slot. Pretty appropriate, isn't it? And on the left, you see those wonderful poles?
That's do.
Called a decade of rain.
All right.
And you'll understand the relevance of that artwork when we get further out.
Sure.
Yeah.
And lest I forget, for individuals watching this video that might be planning a trip down here to New Zealand, and they wanted to do this tour that you're giving us, how would they get a hold of you?
I'm just standing on the wharf with a sign.
Just standing on the walk with the sign, huh?
Oh, I'll give you a mobile.
Okay, that sounds good. You give me a mobile and I'll put it up later.
I'll put this here, yeah.
Okay,
I have an email address, but I don't look at it very often. I'm not into technology.
Oh, here's your mobile.
Yeah.
Okay, now you might get some ladies calling you if I put this out on YouTube, you know.
Are
you a single man?
Yeah,
You're happily married, huh?
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, if you're in New Zealand and you want to go on a tour here in Waiheke, is it okay to give that number out there?
No worries.
Okay, so it'd be 027-352-8677, and that's a 64 prefix, right?
Correct. And this is a mini tour.
So all right, the mini tour.
If
So
they want to connect with me in the afternoon, we do a wine tour for the same price, $15, and we visit the vineyards.
Ah, wonderful.
And I escort them back. So we like to keep everything simple and reasonably priced. 15 for each tour.
Now, it's vineyards or vineyards?
Vineyards.
Vineyards. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to let Dave continue with his tour, and then I'm just going to kind of take some nice shots. Here's a nice little side street that we're going down. Give you an idea. It's how green it is here. Just really nice.
On the right, guys. On the left, for the Kiwis on board. There's Kiwis on board. I come around here. Mad Butcher's house, and he's home.
Oh, really?
You can see the warriors.
Now, who is Mad Butcher?
The Mad Butcher.
Who is the Mad Butcher?
New Zealand personality who's well loved by the New Zealand public. He gives a lot of the profits from his butcher shops back to the community. So
the Mad Butcher.
Pretty good philanthropist.
Okay.
Graham Henry, guys, for the Kiwis. I'll just do a bit of a Yui here. Just show you where he lives. Him and the Mad Butcher are keen paddling buddies. So if you crane your necks around to the hillside.
Okay, so we're driving along, and you know, I'm getting used to the terminology here down under, and you know, I became familiar with the term flat white the other day, and Dave was just telling me. Dave just familiarized me with what's called a long drop, and I'll let you Google that, huh? Just Google long drop, and I'll give you a hint. It's an outhouse, you know. He said you dig a hole and you just got to make it a long drop, you know. And when the wife complains, he said you just put some lime on it. So all right, so on we go.
There's
a stunning view as we're going up the hill here. You can see some beautiful homes down there.
When you look at the Black Home, for example, can you see the water tank to the right? We've got no reticulated water or sewage on the island, other than in the village. So we rely on rainwater.
So Dave was saying that he lives here in the summer, and that he had a family tragedy, and that was that his two daughters married Australians. So he goes to Australia during the winter time.
Three companies. Now I like to come around and pick spots.
There's another beautiful view.
I have, because I've been through these.
We've been through it. Hickaroo Bay is a real lovely spot.
How do you spell that?
And we do sea kayaking tours as well, and this is one of the most beautiful locations on the island. So if we're paddling, Hickaroo.
Hickaroo, okay.
Get the map out. H-I-K.
H-I-K. That's beautiful. Hickaroo Bay.
E-R.
I'm sure what you're looking at right there is a multi-million-dollar property. Beautiful. And this is an area, I think it's called Little Palm Beach. So I'll zoom out just a little bit and give you a taste. Just beautiful. I wish I had a car and I could just spend a leisurely day here. I think he was telling me that's a nude beach, if I overheard him correctly. Let's see if I can zoom in.
Yeah, that's Tony Pope.
Let's see. Okay. So, you know, I have just the impression that this is just a small sampling of the overall beauty of this country. Another beautiful bay from a vantage point that we stopped at. Dave was telling us that they have some olive trees here, and there's a vineyard that you see right down there. And I believe he was telling me there's 4 schools here on the island. Just beautiful.
Now we have a population of 8.
So we're driving through what is the only substantial village here on the island, and the name was Oniroa.
And it has a beautiful beach, which is a 2-minute walk down that walkway on the right.
So a lot of little cafes here and beaches.
Now for the Kiwi family, if I leave you here, it's a 15-minute walk downhill back to the ferry.
It's the beautiful view of some of the vineyards here.
And what I offer is, I will take you back. I'll leave a card, $5.
This is New Zealand wine country.
So if we get over, sorry,
All right, with the tour under our belt, we're just going to walk through the only village of significance here on the island. I'm not sure what the name was. Again, Oniroa or something like that. You can look at Waiheke Island, and I'm sure you'll see the village. Ina actually looks pretty good in my hat, I must say. It's probably a little bit big on her, but it looks good. So we're just gonna do the touristy thing, go get a bite to eat, and then after we have a bite to eat, maybe find our way down to the beach, and then go walking through the vineyards, I think, as Dave would say. So we'll take a look. Oh, there's some hats. Ooh, maybe you can get a nice hat, Ina. Huh? Let's see. Try that hat on.
no, stop it. Let's go.
Okay. All right. With the tour under our belt, we grabbed a quick bite to eat in the village, and we're actually taking a nice hike up through the hills, and in doing so, couldn't help but notice this spectacular view of Auckland off in the distance. Not that Hiro and Ina are in a spectacular view as well, but you can see, maybe you can, Auckland. There's Auckland off in the distance there. So we're going to go do some hiking and wine tasting. Or the ladies are going to do the wine tasting. I'm just going to do the hiking. But wonderful, wonderful afternoon here in Waiheke Island, off of the mainland, if you will, of New Zealand. The first stop on our walking wine tasting tour here in Waiheke is the Mud Brick Winery, and they have a restaurant, and I find myself standing in the garden of the wine brick, and there's a great selection of basil, different varietals of basil, and I see some thyme, and the gardens. It's just a beautiful hilltop setting here, and if I pan just over to the left here, you'll see some people up there enjoying a nice lunch. So I'm going to walk on inside, and Ina and Hiro are going to do some tasting, and as I said, I'm not going to do any tasting today, but I'm just going to enjoy the nice walk and the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery here. Here's a lovely view from just up top, where if you're enjoying a nice lunch here or a glass of wine, you can sit and relax and enjoy the beautiful views. And there's a lot of folks that are over here just enjoying a nice afternoon at Mud Brick Winery here in Waiheke Island. Just a beautiful setting. And of course Auckland is just off in the distance there. Alright, we found our way to another winery, and as you can see, the view behind me is just nothing short of spectacular. And I think this is called Tableview Winery, Cable something, C-A-B-L-E. And Ina and Hiro, they are doing some more wine tasting. And I'm just not much into wine tasting today. I'd rather just enjoy the nice afternoon and the beautiful weather and the walk, and let the ladies enjoy the wine tasting. But I find myself down here on the lawn, and just thought I'd share a few thoughts. And you know, I just can't tell you enough how fortunate I feel to be here in New Zealand and to be traveling such as I'm traveling. You know, it's my life hasn't always been you know, traveling around the world. I've certainly had my share of hard times over the course and time of my life. But anyway, I guess the hard times build character, as the saying goes, and I'm just really fortunate to have found my way down here, and also really fortunate to have met Ina. You know, it's interesting how life unfolds. You know, in my youth, I always wanted to, you know, try to have a control over what was happening, and it was probably in my late 20s, early 30s, when I just kind of, you know, let go and let God, and that was probably the turning point. Probably when I was about 29 years old, and just let go and just let life unfold in front of you, and just go for the ride. And that's pretty much what I've been doing these past 10 or 15 years. So anyway, the ladies are wine tasting, and I am just going to enjoy some New Zealand sunshine, and we're going to find our way down to the beach here shortly. So with that in mind, I will say goodbye for now, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're sitting here chilling. We're going to have some lunch, and Hiro and I are telling Ina that she is probably the only woman in all of New Zealand, maybe all of New Zealand, but definitely Auckland, that has a designer Costco bag. It's a very lovely bag. She's been getting compliments on this all day long.
Yes, that's right.
And she just loves it. I mean, it's not a Gucci,
No,
you know? No, not a Gucci.
Not a Max Mara, but it's a Costco, right?
Exactly, it's a
That's
Costco
right.
bag.
Anybody can have a Gucci or Max Mara or Boss,
But
the Costco.
the Costco bag is the best, right? So you don't know exactly what a Costco bag is, but all you need to know is that, like you, it's special. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Very special.
Very special.
I feel so special.
So as the day here on Waiheke Island is drawing to a near, we find our way going down to the beach, and in doing so, I saw this tree with these beautiful flowers that are hanging down. I'm sure there's a name for these, but very, very pretty. So just over my right shoulder, or my left shoulder for that matter, or both my left and right shoulder, is the beach. So as the saying goes, we are going to reach the beach, if only just for a few minutes before we catch the ferry back to the mainland. Look at that. All right. So here is a view of the beach just off of the main street here in the only significant village on Waiheke Island. So it's been a wonderful day, and now we're going to head on back and enjoy a nice evening of football.